Hi, and welcome, or welcome back, to the Chaos Gremlin podcasts, which this has turned into. This is Jan at the Barn. My name is Manon. I'm a programmer, horsey girl, and a knitter, and this is, of course, where we talk about knitting. But life is a bit chaotic. Progress on my projects is chaotic, so yeah. I'm not even wearing makeup for this. I'm recording this straight after work on the Wednesday because I don't think I will have time before this is supposed to go live again, and before one of my projects needs to be ready as well, which is fantastic. So let's dive straight into it. I finished my teapot, so I can get a drink, but nothing is stopping you from getting something nice and cozy to drink, getting your project, and then we'll dive in. So we're not gonna mess about. We're gonna talk about this thing, which is still not finished, obviously, because this is me and Chaos Gremlin has taken over. This is the girl dress that's patterned by Vert Knit, and I don't have time to knit an entire dress, so it's a job. Let me pull the yarn away. So I'm knitting this out of Knitting for Olive pure silk. This is colorway Deep Petroleum. Love the way this looks. And I have two front panels, I have two back panels, I have a waistband, I have an opening, I don't know if it's going to focus, in the waistband here at the back so that I can slip in an elastic. Maybe I should have done that, sooner, before closing it or almost closing it, because now I have to somehow thread it through, and that's going to be interesting. But that is a problem for like tomorrow or the day after. We'll see. And then I've got quite a lot of what normally would be the higher part of the dress skirt, but for me is the lower part of the top. So I don't know, it's going to be quite difficult to show to you, but I have bits in lace. So it's all this, I think, fan type lace on four sides, and then lower down, here we go, in the middle and in the back I added a bit more of that starts lower down, because otherwise there was this entire panel where nothing was happening, and I thought it would look good. I've not tried this on because, once again, I'm knitting on a smaller cable because I like doing that. This cable, however, is attached to the needles. So normally I have like a whole interchangeable set, and so the cable can come off, and so I can attach another cable to it, make it long enough, and then I can try it. These are small needles, they're 2.75mm needles, so they're not interchangeable. So I'm stuck on this little cable. And I cannot be bothered to put it on a cord because the needles are so small that they don't slide easily onto a cord, and I can't be bothered to do it. I also don't have the time to do it. So I have no idea how this is flowing, what this is going to look like. This is going to be a big fat surprise, and we'll see. One thing that I thought, of course, in hindsight, that I should have thought of before, is that where I did the lace is where I did the increases. So the fan lace kind of thing that you do like this is just lots of eyelets, so yarn overs, and then you do a couple of rows of just normal stockinette, and then you do like knit 2, 3, or 4 together on the edges, and that is what sort of makes the fan. But if you make 4 yarn overs on each side and you only do knit 3 together, then you're increasing by a stitch every few rows, and that's how I did my increases for the skirt part. I don't know how to call this. So that's what I did. I started with 2, then went to 3, then went to 4, and now I'm on 5. I can't even show it to you properly, and I keep turning this the wrong way around. I'm sorry. I know this is really difficult. Oh yeah, it's quite difficult to show it. I'm sorry, but believe me, there's like 5 yarn overs on each side, so there's like 10 in total. And then I'm doing knit 3 together, 1 yarn over, then knit 2 together, and then just normal yarn overs with just knitting 1 stitch in between. Hello, editing me here. I realized I completely lost my train of thoughts and I completely forgot to tell you what it was that I realized after. So here we go. I added increases in several places, but what happens when you increase in a fabric is that that is where the sort of pleats, if you have enough fabric, will form, and therefore you're not going to see the lace. So in hindsight, what I would do differently is I would do the lace in parts where there's no increases. So I would do laces with enough knit 2, 3, 4 together so that it's actually not increasing, and then do the increases on a different line somewhere else where there will be pleats, and then that way you will be able to see the lace. But yeah, I realized that way too late and I was not ripping back. So here we go. And now back to the video. So yeah, still increasing. So I've got a lot of, I've not counted how many stitches I've got on here. Once again, don't have the time to do that because this needs to be ready by Saturday afternoon, preferably blocked by then as well. I don't think I will have time to block it. Or what might happen is I have time to block it, but I will add the straps after blocking it, which is fine. It's just straps. They don't necessarily need to be blocked for the very first wear. However, I'm a bit scared because it means knitting 2 straps of 2 I-cord straps, and I already have to finish this. I'm almost there. I've got like 2.5 more rounds of stockinette at least, and then I need to sort of hold this on my body and decide if it is indeed long enough. I might do like 5 or 6 more rows just to be sure, but then I need to do the edging, and I sort of have 2 options. I think I know which one I want to choose, but either I just do normal stockinette and I fold it over so that it looks a little bit like the waistband. I think that could be a very polished look. It would be very simple. Also, knitting stockinette is going to be quite fast, so you know, not a bad option at all. The other option will take a lot more time, but I think I might like that one better. Is, I don't have the book here, but I have the book, like the lace knitting stitch bibles. I always forget the name, but I've talked about it a lot of times already on this channel. That book, I only have one lace knitting stitch bible, and it has a whole section about edgings, and it's got one with little fan-like stitches, like all the way at the bottom, with little pearl rows in between, and then I could mix that with some twisted ribbing, and I think it would look really, really, really good. It's just that, of course, it's more work than just stockinette. So I'm not 100% decided. If I had all the time in the world, and it would be option 2, but I think I have to be a little bit realistic as well. And I've got a horse riding lesson this evening. That, I mean, I cancelled last week's because it was too hot, and today it's actually not too hot, so I will do it. But that always takes more time than expected, than you would think you would need. The lesson is 45 minutes, but I end up being there for like 2 hours. Then I have to come home and then I have to eat. Hopefully my husband will cook. We'll see. About cooking, we finally have a kitchen again. It got finished this morning. I'll include some footage, but we'll talk about that at the end of the video. So back to knitting. So basically to say, I don't have a lot of time. I have to work tomorrow, and then tomorrow evening I'm giving a lesson to a kid with my pony, and then I want to ride my young horse as well. So that's 2 things to do. Then I also need to pack because Friday we're leaving, and I have no idea when I'm going to edit this video. So I hope I don't make too many mistakes and I can put all of this just basically as is in the video. We'll see. If you see lots of cuts, I had to somehow find more time somewhere and I lost sleep over it. But all of that to say, I'm not sure how I'm going to finish this. I think I should have enough time, to finish this because I'm going to have Friday most of the day in the car while we drive down to the south of France for the wedding where I want to wear this. So that helps if I don't fall asleep. And then Saturday we have until the afternoon until the actual ceremony. So I could even pull an all-nighter if I need to. Not 100% sure about the straps, and if I want to block it, it needs to be done by Saturday morning, and that's the slightly scary part. I'm not sure that's going to happen, so I might wear an unblocked garment, and I'm fine with that. That's just going to be it. If you want to know what is going to happen, you can follow me on Instagram because I post quite a lot on my stories, so that's how you can stay up to date. But I was hoping I could show you a finished garment by now, and I can't. So yeah, this is the chaos happening with this. I ordered elastic to put in the waistband because I need that. And I got myself a backup option for the straps in case I do the fancy edging at the bottom and then I don't have time to do the straps. So that is sort of an acquisition, but I was ordering the elastic anyway. And then I also got this. It's not quite the right color, but I mean, desperate measures. I got this. I don't know what it's called in English. It's called caperband in Dutch. It's basically a very tightly woven. It's not quite a ribbon, but I mean, you would sort of call it a ribbon, but it's not elastic at all, and it's quite tight. So it's not see-through or anything. This was the closest color that I could get. It's obviously not the right color, but I mean they didn't have as many colors as knitting for Live, so there we go. But if I don't have time to make the straps, I'll just quickly sew on these things as like a temporary option. I will make I-cord straps because this design deserves it. Don't slide off the needle, you. And then I'll have these things for now. I got 2 of these so that I could then make like a little bow. So sew one at the front, one at the back, and then they meet in the middle, and then they have a little bow, and then it sort of looks a bit like it was supposed to be like that. Because if it's just a very simple thing, I think that's going to look bodged. So that's what the plan B is. Let's hope I don't need this. Yeah, we'll see. So that's it for the girl dress. By next podcast, it will be finished. I promise. Well, it has to. But yeah, I'm sorry it's not finished today. Next one, and it hasn't had that much progress because I've been knitting on the girl dress mainly. Although I'm lying, I have worked on this and it got way too addictive. So I basically worked on this too much, and then I realized like I should really stop that because I need to work on the girl dress. I've not worked on this one for a week. I've been really good. You know why I've not worked on it for a week? Because I ran out of yarn. I have like spare yarn in the project bag that I got once I got back home, but I worked on this in the train, I think to work or back from work towards home, and that's where I ran out of yarn, out of the mohair. I forgot to take an extra ball with me, and so I had to stop working on it and work on the girl dress, which is what I was supposed to do in the first place. But I can't be bothered to like put this inside out again. But last time I was somewhere. I will put it inside out because we need to talk about this, in fact, a bit more. Just I'm not really. Oh, once again, tiny cable. Sorry, it's a bit of a pain to pull it back the way. No, I'm losing stitches. I told you this was a Chaos Gremlin episode. Okay. I think we're back in business. There we go. So, Porcelain Sweater, pattern by Lynette. And I worked on this too much basically in the last 2 weeks. That's the only explanation that I have. I was somewhere here, I think. I had not started the leaf motif, or I was on the row just before, or on the first leaf motif, or maybe something like that. Anyway, I might have nicked on this quite a lot because it's very addictive, and I love this, and I can't wait to work on this more once the girl dress is done. I'm really, really looking forward to this. I can't lie. I think if you let me work on this for like a week straight, I'm gonna have a week of holiday, and I'm not just gonna be knitting. I'm gonna do a lot of hiking and stuff, but I might be able to finish it. There is one thing though, and I might need your advice on what to do, because this is also why I have a knitting podcast. Is I don't have any like in real life friends that knit, so when I need advice or I need an opinion on what I should do, I ask you guys. So the top bit was knit flat, and already there I could tell that it was a little bit tighter than the stockinette part, but it was okay. It's not too tight. This next bit though, this is in the round, and I should have switched to a bigger needle because I really think I made it too tight. I mean, I can't stretch it all the way because small cable, but you can sort of see that it's pulling quite a lot. And so I think I was not careful enough, and I just pulled on it too much. I think it might be just about okay if when blocking I really stretch the colorwork part and not the stockinette part, but you can see on this top bit that it's sort of it's cinched in, and it's entirely my fault. I know that my knitting is a little bit tighter, well, quite a bit tighter maybe, in the round when doing color work. So I should have known, but I didn't do anything about it. And now I'm like, my problem is, what if you can really see this on the sweater? It's supposed to be a really nice flowy sweater. This fabric is really nice and light. And if this bit is all tight, it's going to ruin it. So my question is, do you think when you see this, can I block this out, like really pull on it? I mean, there's some stretch in the floats. They're not like too tight, but they are on the tight side. So will this block out? Do I just keep on going? And for the next pattern, I do switch to the bigger needles, clearly. But I just try to do it like that, and hope to God it works. I could do a mid-project block, I guess. I'd not thought of that before. That might be the better option. Then that way I know whether option 3 I rip back. So I think that might be the correct thing to do. The annoying thing is that I should do that before finishing the girl dress so that I know what to do once I finish the girl dress and I want to work on this. But I don't have time to do that. So the only time I can mid-block this is after finishing the girl dress. And then I will have to wait. Oh yeah, what is waiting one day in, like, if it's for an entire sweater? I know, I'm not stupid, or sometimes I am, but anyway, I need your advice. What would you do? What would you recommend me to do? What is the correct thing to do here to end up with a nice sweater? Because that's what we want to end up with. All of us is something that looks nice, that we enjoy knitting, but also that we will enjoy wearing. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. By the way, this is the front, but just in case, don't fall off, you stitches. Just in case it's relevant, this is what the back looks like. So it's all bunching up as well. Especially, I feel the leaf part is the worst bit. I think that's after knitting the leaf part is when I noticed that it was quite tight, and so I then made sure to knit like without pulling on the yarn as much. And I think the bottom part is probably okay, but it's the leaf part, the leaf motif. So yeah, I might be in trouble. Let me know what you would do, what you would recommend, because I'm not quite sure what to do yet. And this is kind of a good moment then. If I need to be back, I might as well be back now, before getting all the way to the end, blocking it, and then realizing it doesn't work. And no, let's see. Let me know. So yeah, that was that for this. What I kind of wanted to do is go through my Make 9 and see how it's progressing. But I don't think I will have time to do that now because I also need to get changed. I need to walk the dog, and then I need to go get my horse riding stuff that is at the stables where my horses are, and then go to my instructors because that's where I found the horse that I have lessons with is. So I don't think it's a good idea. So tell you what, we'll do that next week. So this is going to be a very short Chaos Gremlin update, and then next week we'll just go over how are things going, how are the goals going. They're not going too bad, I have to say, surprisingly, uncharacteristically for me. We're going to talk about why that is, and also about a bit about the financial side of knitting and how that is going goal-wise. So yeah, we'll do that next week instead of today. I'm sorry, I was planning to do that today, but somehow I always think that, I don't know, there's like 32 hours in a day or something, and I have a lot more time to do stuff that I actually don't have the time to do. So this was it. So thanks so much if you're still here, if you managed to power through this really chaotic update. I'm sorry, it's not going to be like this every time. I mean, I even have like the laundry and some other stuff lying there. I didn't even clean up. That's the state of stuff. I'm not even wearing knitwear. I'm wearing one of my husband's t-shirts. Okay, quality. Let's end here. I think you've seen enough of my chaotic week. Oh, I did say I would tell you about the kitchen. Okay, really quickly. So we were without a kitchen for, I don't know, a month, 2 months. We were without a sink for quite a while. We sort of kept the hobs because it's handy to be able to cook something, but no oven, no microwave, nothing. And we kept the dishwasher. That was the one thing that I really tried to keep as long as we could because we are, well, first of all, not good at doing the dishes if we even have to. Second, we only had a sink in the bathroom, which is very shallow, which would have been an absolute pain to do the dishes in, or a bath, or the shower. Neither of which is a nice thing to do the dishes in. So that is the one thing that we kept to the end. Everything else was just gone because the electricity had to be redone, some of the pipes as well, and then the wall had to be plastered. And then we had a big scare because then they started installing the kitchen early this week, and then suddenly one of the plugs that we needed for the lights was not working, and there were already like cupboards in front of the wall that had been plastered that had the electricity in. But in the end, it was fine. We managed to access one of the connecting points, and it was just one cable had not been connected, and so we were really lucky with that. That worked. But without further ado, you don't need all these details, I guess, but I'll show you a video of what it looked like on Monday, which is what it looked like for most of the last 2 months. So there's basically nothing, and then day by day how it improved, and now we have a kitchen that is usable. The worktop still has to be ordered because it's going to be like a composite worktop, so it's not marble or anything because that is way too high maintenance. But like composite, but they needed to first install the kitchen to be able to like measure what are the actual real dimensions that we need. Also, is the floor like exactly level, all of that kind of stuff. And so now they can order the actual worktop. So, and then we have to wait like 6-7 weeks, and then they come and install the thing, and then the kitchen will be well, sort of ready. Then the lights still need to go in, and we need to paint the ceiling because there was a hole in the ceiling. Lots of things, but we have a kitchen again and we can cook. And of course, we're leaving in like 2 days, so can't even really enjoy it. But it's really nice now. So once we have a countertop again, I'll show it to you. But for now, then you at least see the few steps that we went through. Okay, and now this is it. Sorry for the non-knitting interruption. But if you've made it again to this part of the video, then extra kudos, because lots of people might have just like stopped at the kitchen update, which fair enough, this is a knitting video, but this is also part of the gremlin chaos part. Chaos gremlin part. Anyway, you get what I mean. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope at least I could bring you some fun, I guess, chaotic energy and laughter in your life. I will see you again next week, as always, around 5 p.m. I don't know. I'm going to be in France, and the upload speed is a lot lower there, so we'll see how that goes. So might be a little bit later. And if you like this video, then you can give it a like. If you've not subscribed yet, I mean, it's up to you, but it does help the channel if you enjoyed this and you want to watch more of this. Usually it's not as chaotic, I promise. Then you can subscribe. And that is it. So this is where we're going to end. Have a lovely week. Enjoy your knitting, crafting, crocheting, whatever you do, and see you next week. Bye bye.